What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This one is a little bit different. I'm going to explain why the contrast strength method is the way to go when it comes to strength training and overall strength endurance training when it comes to being a HYROX/hybrid athlete. Note, I think I have learnt that overall fitness when it comes to training for HYROX is the most important thing. So this type of strength training promotes muscle fibre recruitment more than just always thinking about doing the stations repeatedly. So that'll make sense shortly. What is strength, the contrast method, strength contrast method? I actually just looked up then. It actually was created or founded through the Soviet Union back obviously a while ago, and they started training more athletic development so that they could create more power. And if you're listening to this, you would probably understand that HYROX is a power endurance game or an endurance power game, right? It's how much power and how much force can you develop and produce, over the extended period of time during the race, but especially over the stations, all right? So today, guys, it's a simple strength session. I've literally got 5 sets of 3 back squats into 3 box jumps. And these back squats are heavy, nice and heavy for me. I'm just going to warm up into obviously a high box jump being very explosive. Now, the purpose of doing a heavy strength lift into a powerful movement is just for the purpose of recruiting more muscle fibers. This workout here, I think about, and it's predominantly to do with making sure that I am recruiting as many muscle fibers around the lower limbs, obviously, the quads, hamstrings, and glutes. And if you think about it, most of our stations that we do in HYROX, let alone our running, we need to try to create as much muscle fiber recruitment as possible to be able to produce the power, all right? So that's pretty much the mindset or the purpose behind the contrast method. And it kind of gets me thinking about, like, there's always a question these days about how strong do you have to be for HYROX. And in my opinion, note, in my opinion, this is all opinion based. Strength is not important. Pure strength is not important for HYROX because it's more about how you utilize the strength that you've got and how you use the strength that you've got already. Yeah, sure, there's some staple benchmarks you could kind of throw out there, like making sure that you can squat your body weight, I believe, making sure that you can deadlift your body weight, etc. But it's more about, hey, like, let's utilize what you've already got, and how many reps can you do at a chosen resistance or a chosen weight, more than actually like how strong can you actually be. So due to that, the contrast method by lifting heavy, and then immediately going into a power explosive movement. Is going to be more bang for your buck, or a better stimulus for training for HYROX. Ooh. Just a preface, right? I think if I had to do a 1 RM back squat right now, my 1 RM back squat would be about 125, maybe 130 kilograms. So today I'm doing a 5 sets, 3 reps at 100 kg. So it's fairly heavy. Into those box jumps. Last warm-up set before we get into it. Oi. I said this answering a question last week about just like HYROX training and my programming and my, I guess, philosophy of coaching. This right here, what I'm doing here, is pure specific training towards the sled push, sled pull even, burpee broad jumps, the rower, the lunges, the wobbles, and hell, like even our running. This type of training, as I just stated, promotes as much power, muscle fibre recruitment within our lower body, our lower limbs, of course. And think about it, all those stations that I just listed, it's all about power through our lower body. Our sled push, of course. Every time you push that sled, you want to create as much muscle fibre recruitment as possible. And then the ability to run off that, it's all about making sure that we have as much muscle fibre recruitment as possible. All right, working sets, here we go. I also had a look at, obviously, the actual origin of the contrast method. As I said, kind of from the Soviet sports science, so the Soviet Union, between like the 1960s and 1980s here, we're pioneers in methods that were the pioneers in this method that combined heavy resistance training with explosive work, which then became known as the contrast method, or sometimes complex training. And ever since I've been with Anthony, my coach, I do not think I've ever done a pure strength cycle where I'm just doing heavy back squats then resting. I'm always doing explosive contrast method, just because that's so much more specific to what we're trying to achieve. By the way, I'm resting anywhere between 90 seconds to 2 minutes. The rest doesn't necessarily matter to be precise every set, but it's about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Just making sure I'm ready to go again. I think it's really hard sometimes from my end to talk about my training and how I train with the mindset of my own history and what I've done and my fitness level with respect to how Anthony programs for me, versus someone who's, let's just say, just trying to get into HYROX, or just trying to get into this type of training, because it has to be different. And that's my challenge every day, is to make sure that I'm looking at things even like this, right, from not just me as an athlete and where I'm at, but also someone, as I just said, getting into HYROX and getting into this type of training, because it should be different. But in the grand scheme of things, these structures should be the same. So the structure of the contrast method, strength contrast method, should be the same, whether you are a 10-year functional fitness athlete or someone who's just starting, right? It's keeping to the structure that matters, and understanding the structure doesn't have to change. Third set, yeah. Two to go. So this is an example of a squatting contrast method. I do this for, let's just say, like my posterior strength, whether that is sumo deadlifts or deadlifts. And then I also do it with my upper body, whether it is an overhead press or a bench press. And just examples of this, right? Just, last week I had sumo deadlifts, supersetting with a 10-second assault bike sprint or an echo bike sprint, which is the power output straight afterwards, again, to promote muscle fibre recruitment. Barbell push press. Last week I did barbell push press into, I think I did barbell push press into bent over row. So barbell bent over row. Dumbbell bent over row. Those are just examples of like, okay, back squat into box jump is good. Back squat into 10-second echo bike is good. Deadlifts into echo bike. But you want to make sure the second movement, which is the explosive movement, to be as explosive as possible to recruit as many muscle fibers as possible. This is my second workout of the day. I think another question or something that can come up for a lot of athletes is, how do I structure my day-to-day so that I'm getting the most out of your workout / what you need to prioritize. So I've ran this morning. That was my first workout, which was a 12 kilometre easy run with some strides at the end. I've rested for about 2 hours and then I'm hitting this now. I'm doing the back squat and box jump now so that I can get as much out of it before I'm doing 2 or 3 more things this afternoon. Now that's not me saying you should do your strength piece early or within the first couple of things that you do during a day, but you've just got to work out, okay, what do you truly need to focus on as an athlete, and making sure that you're prioritizing that throughout your training. If you're someone who thinks that your aerobic work in general is more important right now than your explosive power, then maybe you need to prioritize that more than your strength work. But it's something that I think about a lot. Is okay, the structure of a day-to-day. I personally always start off with a run, whether that is my thresholds or an easy run, and then my second thing every day is always a strength contrast workout, because I'll be honest, I'm trying to get as explosive as possible as well right now. And in saying that, this is the last set. Here we go. Ta-da, all done. So what was that, 15, 20 minutes? That was good. All right, strength contrast done for the day. Thanks for watching. I hope you got out of like how I view strength training for HYROX. And to put it simply, like pure strength does not matter. I'll say it that way. It does not matter. It's how you use your strength that you've got already, and utilizing the strength contrast method in your training is very important. Now, the HYROX solo and doubles program that I've just launched through JK Hybrid Coaching replicates very similar, if not the same structure as I train year in, year out. So my athletes that have just started the 10-week default block are doing the strength contrast method at the moment with their back squats, with their pressing, upper body pressing, with their deadlifts as well right now. So if you want to know more about it, please send me a message, send me a DM, and I'd love to chat to you about it. Apart from that, guys, good luck with your training, and we'll talk to you soon.